Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and I'm back with another video, and this is part 9 to What if Naruto was a full Uzumaki and he rebuilt the Whirlpool village. And sorry for uploading after so long guys. uh, I know it was pretty long since the last video, so basically I kind of had a lot of stuff on my plate with like school and stuff, and writing the script was kind of a pain in the ass. And the reason why I'm writing the script is to actually help me with the harem version. So for my future what ifs, I'm going to do the you know videos unscripted. So anyways, I will be releasing part 10, which will be the finale day after tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So anyways, enough excuses, now let's get straight to the recap. So in the last part, Orochimaru fashioned a Hashirama's alarm for Jiraiya as he lost his in a fight against Pain. And and when Naruto took Nagato and Konan back to his village, he sparred against them to assign them ranks. And when Obito tried to attack Naruto, Obito got Talk no Jutsu by Naruto as well, and Naruto made him one of his Anbu for reconnaissance missions. So during the summit between Naruto and Tsunade, Obito and Kakashi reunited, and Tsunade said that she would kill Danzo and questioned Hiruzen about all the shit that happened under them. So and Naruto told her to let the Uchihas take care of Danzo, and Naruto finally made an alliance with the Leaf, making Tsunade really happy. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Sakura actually asked permission to defect to Naruto's village. And first, Tsunade was kind of hesitant because Sakura is a student and all, same as in the original. But Sakura convinced her to do it, to let her, go. And Tsunade accepted, and Naruto accepted her request. And he was like, Sakura, it seems I judged you wrong. While you don't have much innate potential, you have an immensely strong desire to be stronger. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, Zetsu approached Kabuto and told him to reanimate as many S-rank shinobi as possible, as well as Madara Uchiha. And Obito was doing his recon mission, and he noticed the threat that was approaching the village. So we left off with Obito telling Naruto about this, and Naruto preparing his ninjas for war. So now, guys, Naruto summoned all of his shinobi who were Chunin level or higher, and by now Naruto's genin who entered the Chunin exams before the Shippuden break were already Jonin. So since since Jiraiya was still there, he wanted to fight in the war. But Naruto was like, Jiraiya Sensei, not now. Your arm is not yet fully healed, and it hasn't melded with your body. It will not be able to handle combat just yet. And Jiraiya still tried to sneak, but Naruto said, wood style, wood binding jutsu. And Jiraiya tried to escape, but he was caught off guard, and he got caught in the jutsu. And Naruto took him to a hospital room, and he laid him down on a bed. And he was like, sorry, Jiraiya sensei, but I have to do this. Earth style, super weighted boulder jutsu. As he put his hand on Jiraiya's arm, and Jiraiya suddenly became way too heavy to move. Like how Onoki did to the second Tsuchikage's reanimation in order to seal him. So, anyways, Naruto also put a chakra seal on him so that he wouldn't be able to enter Sage mode and break free. And Jiraiya was like, Naruto, why? And Naruto was like, if I let you roam free, you will try to join the war in one way or another, and you'll get yourself hurt. I can't let that happen. I'll free you after the war, I promise. And Jiraiya tried to raise his head, but he couldn't, so he became exhausted after trying to move for a while, and he fell asleep. So now, among the people who were fighting, there were Naruto, all the Katsuki members that he saved, Naruto's wives, who were Karin, Hinata, and Shion. Yes, Naruto did marry them by now, and they did some of that, good 18 plus shit by now. So, anyways, other than those people, everyone he brought to his village, the first time he went looking for people, the OGs, the OGs basically, like Raiga, Ranmaru, um, Zabuza, Haku, Kimimaro, all those people. So, yeah, all those people participated, and the old Genins that he entered to the Leaf Chunin exams also participated. And anyways, we also have Orochimaru, Sasuke, Itachi, and all the Jinchuriki except Yugito and B, as they were still in the Cloud Village. So the fight began as Naruto's shinobi were basically molesting all the reanimations, uh, and the Zetsus with their power. And the reanimations were all impressed that a village powerful enough to take on so many S-rank shinobi had emerged out of nowhere. And Kabuto is sitting in his cave all pissed right now, as he severely underestimated Naruto's village and their power. So Naruto went to Orochimaru and asked him who the caster of this reanimation jutsu was. And Orochimaru actually restrained one of the reanimations and took it back to his lab. And this was actually Pakura's body, the Scorch Release girl. So he realized that this was nearly a perfected reanimation jutsu, and the only person who would be able to do this was either him or Kabuto. And he didn't do it, so he told Naruto that actually Kabuto did it. And that's because Kabuto actually helped Orochimaru, perfect this jutsu, and at least improve the jutsu to a nearly perfect level. So he told Naruto this, and Naruto was like, Kabuto, huh? I'll send someone to take care of him. And by the way, this is a girl with a Keke Genkai, is she not? Don't you have a preference for those bodies? And Orochimaru was like, yes, but I don't know what will happen if I try to inhabit a dead body. Naruto told Orochimaru to prepare a living person that Naruto had captured for him to be his vessel in case the plan didn't work. And Orochimaru was like, but regardless of whether it works or not, I don't want to be under Kabuto's control. And Naruto was like, then we will make her release herself from the reanimation contract. So he summoned Itachi and Nagato, and so first Naruto told Nagato to sense where the chakra controlling the reanimations was coming from. And Nagato got the location, and Naruto told Itachi to use Koto Amatsukami on Pakura to make her release the seals, to make her release the reanimation contract. So Orochimaru told Itachi the hand seals to release the reanimation contract, and Itachi made Pakura do this. So I did give Itachi Koto Matsukami, as Itachi got his EMS by implanting Shisui's eyes into his. So I think that Shisui's Mangekyo powers will be added to his. So then Orochimaru gets a live vessel to be ready just in case it doesn't work. But when he enters Pakura's body, it actually works. And Pakura actually now looks a little bit more alive. And Orochimaru is now immortal and with infinite chakra and infinite regeneration ability. So Orochimaru, like, he got super jacked with power, and he thanked Naruto for this, and he continued fighting off the reanimations. So Naruto told Nagato to lead Itachi to Kabuto's location and make him undo the reanimation. So when they reached the cave, Kabuto obviously sensed them, and he gave them his big villain speech. And this time Itachi wasn't stupid enough to give his entire plan to Kabuto like how he did in the original, so he didn't have to use Izanami. I don't even know why he did that on the original, to be honest. Like, he knew Sasuke was going to follow him anyways, so he might as well have told him the plan before even meeting Kabuto. Either that, or he shouldn't have even told Sasuke anything. Anyways, he and Naruto actually discussed the plan on the way. So they made Kabuto undo the reanimation. But right before they entered, Kabuto knew that they would defeat him, so he reanimated Madara on the battlefield right away. And Naruto found Madara and started fighting him. So, anyways, while that was going on, Itachi Koto Matsukami Kabuto, as Kabuto didn't hear his plans and shut off his eyesight using Snake Sage mode. So Kabuto did as Itachi wished, and he stopped the reanimation, and Madara still released himself from the reanimation. So Itachi and Nagato went back to Naruto and told him that the reanimation jutsu had been undone, and Naruto said that Madara was still there as he had released himself from the reanimation. So by the way, all the Zetsus were already decimated by now, as the shinobi were way too powerful for the Zetsus to try to absorb their chakra and transform into them and stuff. So Itachi and Nagato also found, the main Zetsu, as Nagato sensed his presence in the cave, and Itachi blitzed Zetsu and put him in the Tsukiyomi without him even realizing it. And this is because like Itachi was pretty fast, like the healthy Itachi. This is the healthy Itachi, so he was like on par with KCM1 Naruto. So yeah, if you see the anime, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, anyways, basically, Itachi sealed Zetsu the Totsuka blade in the cave, and he and Nagato, like when they were, after they went back and told to tell Naruto the news, they actually saw Naruto fighting Madara as he was telling them that Madara was still there. And Naruto and Sasuke are pretty much overpowering Madara's perfect Susanoo with the Kurama avatar and Sasuke's perfect Susanoo. And Naruto also used wood release to make a wood golem and surrounded the Kurama avatar with the golem. And Sasuke's Susanoo was purple and black, like how it became with Jugo's Sage Mode infusing it. And this was because of Fugaku's eyes that were implanted in him. And Sasuke's Mangekyo abilities were the same ones he had in canon. And Fugaku's, like, we don't really know about Fugaku's, and because they weren't really revealed, so I'm just going to say that his abilities were using everlasting ice, meaning that it was ridiculously cold and it would never melt. And this ice was like harder than any material. So Fugaku also had ice control, meaning that his ice could, do whatever he wanted it to do. Like, how Sasuke's blaze release could do, like flame control for his Amaterasu. So, if someone was, touched by this ice, it would basically freeze them to death, and no matter what, this can't be stopped, except by a perfect Jinchuriki getting rid of it, or uh, the person cutting the affected body part off. So basically, it was like Amaterasu, but the ice version. And Amaterasu and this ice would perfectly counter each other. And like if you use the same amount of Amaterasu for a certain amount of ice, uh, this kind of Fugaku's ice, then it would basically like cancel each other out, and it would leave pretty much nothing. So, anyways, this fight was actually quite far from the village, as Naruto did realize that this fight would cause a lot of collateral damage. So Itachi and Nagato saw this happening and they decided to help out. So, and one thing that Nagato learned to do was manifest a Susanoo. Yes, he did this, and about a month ago, Naruto told Nagato that since his Rinnegan were once Mangekyo Sharingan, he should be able to do it. And with the help of the Uchihas, Nagato actually learned to make Madara's perfect Susanoo. And Naruto also told Nagato about Madara's Mangekyo abilities. So Naruto learned to use not Fugaku's. Nagato learned to use Inferno style, which was the jutsus using Amaterasu, and he learned this with Sasuke's and Itachi's help. So Naruto was fighting with his wood release Kurama avatar, powered up by all of his Sage modes. So the basically he used a wood golem to actually encase the Kurama avatar. So and he even was using like wood sage mode along with all of his other three sage modes. And yes, this was something that Naruto learned to use because he has a wood release and he's Ashura's reincarnate. And anyway, Sasuke was fighting with an everlasting ice encased perfect Susanoo, and he could also do this with Amaterasu, but uh, he felt like using ice basically, and he was using ice swords and the bow and arrow with everlasting ice. So Itachi was using an Amaterasu in case perfect Susanoo, and Itachi's Susanoo was actually it had it was basically red with Shisui's like green Susano color, like speckled on the red, basically, like if you know what I'm talking about. I'll try to put an image of what that would look like, but uh, I also may not because I don't really feel like doing that. But anyways, Nagato is also using the flame control in case perfect Susanoo, and Madara actually had like no chance as he kept trying to remove stop Sasuke's eternal ice from touching him, and like everlasting ice from touching him, and This is really difficult for Madara, and you know, by the way, like I don't remember if I said this, but like Amaterasu, if the everlasting ice touches you, the only option you have to get rid of it is, either be a perfect Jinchuriki and, use the chakra of the tail beast to, get rid of the ice, or cut off the affected body part. So, anyways, back to the battle, and Madara, he was captured by, by the group, and Itachi sealed Madara inside his Totsuka blade. And before he did this, Naruto placed seals on Madara's eyes and also on Hashirama's face, as uh, yeah, like if Madara could use the Hashiramas would release Sage Mode if that wasn't sealed off. So, anyways, Itachi took out Zetsu. Like when they went back to interrogate Madara and Zetsu, Itachi pulled them both out of his Tosca blade, and Zetsu was still under the Tsukiyomi. And Itachi interrogated him while Naruto interrogated Madara. So, Naruto asked Madara why he wanted to do this Eye of the Moon plan thing. So Madara told him everything about the Uchiha Stone tablet and all that. So as soon as Madara was done, Itachi came running with Zetsu restrained in a Susanoo arm, and he was like, "Naruto, you have to hear this." And Madara sensed Black Zetsu's presence and was like, "Black Zetsu, my will, you captured him." And Itachi turned to Zetsu and was like, tell them everything you told me." And Zetsu, in a monotone voice, told the entire story about the Otsutsuki clan and what they do. Kaguya, the Sage of Six Paths, the reincarnates, how he manipulated Indra and his reincarnates to, get them to unlock the Rinnegan, the Uchiha Stone tablet, like how he manipulated the tablet and all that stuff. And Madara was confused by this, and he said, "Black Zetsu, I thought you were my will." And Zetsu again spoke in like a monotone voice and said, "I am the will of my mother, Kaguya Otsutsuki. My only goal is to reunite all the chakra of the tail beasts and revive her. I was going to force you to turn into my mother after you became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki." And Madara was shocked, and Naruto saw his expression and he was like, "Madara, you seem surprised." And Madara got angry and he was like, "He tricked me. How dare he?" And Naruto was like, "You said he was your will. Do you remember creating him? Did you ever intend to create him? Have you ever heard of someone creating a manifestation of their own will? Your adversary Hashirama couldn't manage to do something like that, even though he would have loved to do that in order to protect his village." Madara was like, "Yes, but Naruto didn't let him like complete his sentence, and he was like, "No excuses, Madara. Black Zetsu was the one who made your entire scheme. You should have known better that he was far older than you and he manipulated you." Madara was like, "You are right. I guess you have my apologies, Lord. Uzushiogakure, wasn't it? Anyways, you can seal me now." Naruto smiled and said, "I accept your apology, Madara, but I have a better idea than sealing you away. You have laid waste to your life when you were alive, consumed by hatred and jealousy of your friend and rival, Hashirama Senju. I'll give you a new purpose. Become a shinobi of my village and help me create true peace. Do this not out of repentance for your previous actions, but to realize the life that you could have lived in your previous one. In other words, I want to give you a second chance at achieving yours and Lord Hashirama's dream of creating peace in this world." And Madara smiled at when Naruto made this offer, and he stood up and he was like, "Thank you, Lord Uzushiogakure. I accept your offer. However, I am still a dead man." And Naruto was like, "Ah, I'm glad you reminded me. I have a plan to kill two birds with one stone. Nagato, give me your eyes." Nagato literally pulled out both of his Rinneguns without even hesitating. Such was his trust in Naruto. He sensed where Naruto was, and he gave him the Rinneguns. And Naruto then yanked Zetsu's eyes out and put in the Rinnegan eyes. This kind of restarted Zetsu's mind, and he snapped out of the Tsukiyomi. But this wasn't really a big issue, as Itachi just looked at him again and said, Tsukiyomi. And Zetsu kind of went blank again. And Itachi asked Naruto what he wanted to do. And Naruto said, Nagato knows a jutsu that reawakens a dead person in exchange of one's own life. Nagato, explain to Itachi how the outer path, samsara of heavenly life technique is used. And Nagato's like, you know about that technique? And Naruto was like, well, of course I know about it. I may not look like it, but I have spent a lot of time researching about the curiosities in our shinobi world, and one of such curiosities is your Rinnegan. And so then Nagato just accepted this explanation, and he explained how to use this technique to Itachi, and Itachi used Koto Amatsukami on Zetsu, and he made Zetsu do the Samsara of Heavenly Life technique to restore Madara's life, and White Zetsu died. And Black Zetsu broke free of the genjutsu that he was in, since he was no longer connected to White Zetsu. So he then tried to blitz Naruto, but Itachi was like, I have known for a while that there was something up with you, Amaterasu. This is pretty much it for Zetsu, as the Amaterasu burned him until there's nothing left. And before you guys all start commenting, oh, this is not possible, Black Zetsu can't be beaten like that, and all of that, I'm just gonna say that this is possible, as Naruto managed to pin Black Zetsu with the Truth Seeker rod in his fight against Kaguya. So I'm just gonna say that it's possible, and this is my what if, so I can do whatever I want. Yeah. So, anyways, now Naruto and Sasuke met the Sage of Six Paths, as they didn't really need his power in the war. Or not, it's not even a war; it's more like a beatdown. Anyways, because it was pretty like one-sided. Anyways, the Sage still gives Naruto Six Path Sage mode, and also, by the way, when Naruto's training other Jinchuriki, their tail beasts gave him a bit of their chakra and gratitude. So now that Naruto met the requirement for getting Six Path Sage mode, Hagoromo gave it to him. And Naruto's already so powerful that he unlocked the Rinnegan in both eyes with this, and Sasuke actually got a much more powerful Rinnegan. So instead of the six tomo Rinnegan that he gets in canon, he got a Rene Sharingan, but not in his forehead. He got it in both of his eyes. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So Naruto thanked Hagoromo before Hagoromo left, and he told Naruto. Hagoromo told Naruto one last thing. He was like, Naruto, you have achieved much throughout your life. Among these is your mastery over every type of sage mode in existence, including mine. This causes you to become one with nature, so you will be able to live forever and retain the powers that you have in your prime, unless you die in battle. However, this is only if you keep your Rinnegan eyes, the ultimate dojutsu that I have given you. Otherwise, you'll still be able to exist as chakra even after your death, like how I do. This chakra will be self replenishing, but you'll never be able to use it to fight in battle. You'll only be able to use it to grant power to those who you trust with it. If you wish, you shall be able to reincarnate as well in this scenario. You already know the jutsu to do this, as your new powers grant you an understanding of everything. And even if you take your renegades out and replace them with regular eyes, you still live three times as long as how long you can live now. And Naruto's like, thank you, great sage. However, I'm giving these Rinnegan to Nagato, and I will return Madara's original eyes to him. I'll then regenerate my old eyes. I'll incarnate, as there will be a time where I will have to leave this world in the hands of future generations. Hagoromo smiled and he said, Naruto, this is what I appreciate the most about you. You don't crave more power, even though you are the strongest shinobi in the world. I believe you will be responsible enough to handle your new power. I may now rest in peace, seeing that the cycle of hatred between my two sons is over. And you have saved not one, but two of Indra's reincarnates. I am proud of you and Sasuke. He then dissipated. Madara was like, "Thank you for returning my eyes, Naruto." As Naruto placed Madara's original eyes, which were, Nagato's Rinnegan, back in his sockets. And Naruto and Madara's sockets are actually empty because, he was brought back to life, and Madara actually already gave away his eyes to Nagato. So the Renegans couldn't come back when the Rene Rebirth technique was used. So anyways, Naruto placed the eyes back in to Madara's sockets, and Naruto yanked out his own eyes and placed them in Nagato using yin yang release to alter Nagato's DNA. So this made Nagato like able to activate and deactivate the Rinnegan at will, and it also gave him the ability to use the Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan that came with it. So Nagato hugged Naruto, and he thanked him for this, as Nagato used his yin yang release to create his original eyes back in his empty sockets. And Madara also respected Naruto and pledged his allegiance to Naruto. And he kneeled down to Naruto, and he was like, "I would like to become a shinobi of your village, Naruto-sama." And Naruto was like, "I'd like to spar with you to re-examine your strengths, but please, no honorifics. Just call me Naruto. You're making me feel old." Madara chuckled as Naruto reminded him of Hashirama a little bit. And this is pretty obvious because, Naruto is just a reincarnation of Hashirama. But obviously he was way, 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 way stronger. And by the way, all the malice in Madara's heart had gone by now, and he had become more like how he was during his early days of Hashirama's time as Hokage, when he was all good and stuff. And Naruto made Madara an elite Jonin of Uzushiogakure. So, and also he also made Madara one of his personal guards, and this is because Haku and Kimimaro actually retired from being Naruto's guards, as they kind of wanted to do more missions and gain more experience as shinobi. So now Naruto made Madara and Nagato his guards, and Nagato was about 3/4 of the way to Madara's power level now. So yeah, pretty strong. And in this what if, Sasuke is actually several times more powerful than he was in the original. And Naruto is also like so powerful that he could like body 3 or 4 Otsutsuki and take them out. So when he reaches about when he tries to battle like 6 Otsuskis, he'd actually start try harding. And by now, Nagato and Conan finally became open to each other about each other's feelings, and they started dating. So yeah, this is going to be a Nagato x Conan chip. And and Sasuke and Sakura also started dating as they kind of caught up after the war, and Sasuke decided to train Sakura a little bit, and things started to happen. And anyways, Sasuke became the Shadow Uzushiogakure, and he took control of the reins for the village while Naruto wasn't there. So, anyways, Naruto called for a 6 Kage summit. Yes, 6 Kage, as he was now also a Kage. Anyways, he called the summit to decide how to deal with Kabuto, whom he had captured. So even Orochimaru couldn't convince Kabuto to join them, like because Itachi literally had to do an Izanami to talk no Jutsu Kabuto. So, anyways, Itachi didn't want to use Koto Amatsukami, as he doesn't want to like force people to become Uzushio Gakure's allies, and also there wasn't a lot of information about Koto Amatsukami and how long it lasts. So Itachi knew that if the Genjutsu broke, it could like lead to them having spies and stuff among them. So all the Kage came and they were waiting for Naruto as Madara walked in. So Onoki grew white in the face and he was like, "Are you him?" And Madara said, "What do you mean? I am Madara Uchiha. Did you forget about me, Onoki? Or should I say, Lord Tsuchikage? I am one of Lord Uzushiokage's personal escorts. He wants to apologize for being a little late." And everyone was like shocked, and they as well as their escorts were getting ready to attack. But Mei and Tsunade had some hesitation because because Uzushiogakure is their ally. So, but anyways, they were suddenly stopped by some invisible force as a voice said, "Magnet style, immobilize." And they turned to see Naruto, who had his hands on the ground. Yes, Naruto did have magnet release because he had Stage of Six Paths mode. So, anyways, Naruto was like, he was like, "Seems I was just on time, Madara. What's going on?" And Madara kneeled and said, "Lord Uzushio Kage, I have delivered your apologies to the other Kage." Naruto said, "Madara, I already told you, please don't address me so formally. Anyways, why did they try to attack you?" Madara shrugged and said that it was probably due to his past actions. So Naruto explained to all the other Kage about what happened with Madara, and all the Kage were like white with fear right now. And the Raikage was like, "Madara, the shinobi of your village. Oh please, this is all probably just a trick." Madara was like, "I can't trick him even if I wanted to. He's too strong for me." And Naruto was like, "Everyone, enough. Today Uzushiogakure has called you here to discuss the fate of Kabuto Yakushi." So he brought out a scroll and he summoned and immobilized Kabuto to the center of the room. And all the other Kages were shocked that Naruto's village took care of almost the entire Akatsuki on its own. And Kabuto was restrained by chakra seals and the super weighted boulder jutsu. And Onoki saw this and was like, "My jutsu? You're using my jutsu?" And Naruto was like, "Yes, but that's not the point. Kabuto has allied with the Akatsuki and tried to attack my village using reanimated shinobi like the past Kage and Madara Uchiha. Luckily, we were able to neutralize this threat without any casualties." So the other Kage started muttering among themselves, and they were like shocked that with so many S rank shinobi, the village wasn't even hurt at all. And so so basically, the other Kage came to the conclusion that Kabuto should be executed, and Naruto asked Tsunade whether the Leaf wanted to take care of Kabuto's execution, as Kabuto was an ex-Leaf shinobi. So Tsunade said yes, and Naruto sealed Kabuto back in the scroll, and he threw the scroll to Tsunade, and he said, "Just summon him when you're ready to conduct the execution." And after this, Onoki actually flew towards Madara, and Naruto said, "What are you doing, Lord Tsuchikage?" Onoki said, "Sorry, Lord Uzuchiokage. I cannot allow Madara to live. Particle style, atomic dismantling jutsu." And Naruto said, "What a stupid idea." And Onoki was surprised as Madara started using his Rinnegan to absorb the jutsu. And Onoki was like, "Rinnegan? You have the Rinnegan?" And Naruto was like, "Yes, he does. So does my other guard, Nagato Uzumaki, and the Shadow Uzushiokage, Sasuke Uchiha." And all the Kage were dumbfounded, and the Raikage said, "Then how are you still the Uzushiokage?" And this is because the Raikage thought that the Kage of the village would be the strongest shinobi of the village. And Madara said, "Lord Naruto, Lord Naruto can fight all of us and make us seem like children compared to him, even if he takes us on at once." And all the Kage were like shocked, and Naruto was like, "Madara, how many times should I tell you? It's just Naruto. Just call me Naruto. Drop the Lord." And Madara apologized, and the other Kage were thinking like, "Uzushiogakure is way too powerful." So the summit ended, and Naruto was the first one to leave as he teleported back with Madara and Nagato. And as the other Kage started to leave, the Raikage actually called them back, and he said, "Lords Kage, I uh, I believe that we have something to discuss. I am afraid it had to wait until the Uzushio Kage left." And the other Kage turned back and sat down, and the Raikage said, I believe that Uzushiogakure has become way too powerful and way too great of a threat to our villages. We should form an alliance to destroy it in order to retain the power balance between the villages. We also have to convince all the smaller ninja villages to take part as well. Tsunade flat out refused to do this as she said that the Leaf wouldn't participate in such a war. Mei also said no as her village was allies with Naruto. And Baki, who was the Kage since Naruto had Gara, was hesitant as well because Naruto did make Chio happy and all that. But he said Uzushiogakure has offered refuge to 9 Akatsuki members, including Orochimaru, Madara Uchiha, and Obito Uchiha. We cannot let this slide. We must destroy that village. And May actually thought of joining as Baki had a point. Naruto had the man who created the Blood Mist village in his own village. And the thought of this didn't sit well with her, and she also decided to join the war. And Tsunade said, "You all may do as you please, but Konoha will not be participating." And at this point, Danzo walked in and he said, "If the Leaf won't offer assistance, the Root will. Konoha needs his tail beast back." And Tsunade said, "Danzo, you snake. How dare you? Konoha doesn't need your help and it never did. I thought you escaped from the Leaf's authorities. What are you doing here?" And Danzo just chuckled as the other Kage were like, "Good, we need all the help possible." And Tsunade just shook her head and went back. And so now, while all this is happening, Obito actually heard all of this, and because Naruto actually placed him outside to spy on the summit when he went to attend the summit. So when Obito was about to leave as well, he heard all of this and he's like, "I see. So that's how it is." So then he uses Kamui to teleport back to Naruto, and he reported this to Naruto. And Naruto was like, "This is bad. I told them that the only thing I desire is peace in this world, and they still try to attack me. Only Tsunade is the one I can rely on. Even May, I thought that May would at least, at least, I thought that at least May would disagree to this, but it seems that she isn't. Old hatred for the Akatsuki has made her blind to my decisions." And Obito's like, "So, what do you want to do about it?" And Naruto said, "Assemble our strongest shinobi. Only our Jonin and our special ninja and our Anbu. We will try to immobilize the army without killing anyone. Uh, we'll try to make sure that there are as few casualties as possible. We will show all the other Kage that the only thing we desire is peace, and the cycle of hatred throughout the world should stop. It has already stopped between the two reincarnates of the two the reincarnates of the two sons of Hagoromo, but it should stop in the rest of the world as well." Obito then nodded, and sorry, not Madara. Naruto summoned all of the his strongest ninja, and these were basically all the OGs, pretty much like the first shinobi that Naruto ever recruited, and all the Uchihas, and like all the Akatsuki members, and Conan had like literally just earned her um, Jonin rank by now, so Conan was also fighting, and basically like Conan's powers greatly increased, and now she could actually like use a few chakra natures, which were wind, water, and earth release. And she also uh, like she was also able to make her paper much stronger and resistant to fire without using water release. And she was also like able to make her paper a lot heavier so that they could like emulate actual shuriken, so that they wouldn't like get blown away by wind and stuff. So, and also Conan became like really adept in taijutsu, and she was like nearly flawless in taijutsu. She still needed a bit of work, but then she's nearly flawless in taijutsu. And also she could use a paper substitution jutsu. Like instead of just dematerializing into paper whenever she wanted, she could basically do what Itachi did with crows and use a paper substitution. And she could even like dematerialize like into the ground and use like an earth substitution. Like um she could basically like crumble away and reform in another place, like without the enemy even noticing, pretty much. So if someone stabs her, she could literally just like crumble down, and the enemy would just think that she crumbled away, and she would literally just like appear behind him. So yeah, pretty overpowered. Anyways, so Conan also joined the war, and Naruto, he was like able to see from the horizon like the army of shinobi from all the four nations and Danzo's foundation approaching. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it off for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment down your thoughts on the video as well as any ideas you have for my future what ifs. So, um, actually, the what if that I'm planning to make after this is what if Naruto was a generational genius but he was neglected. So I'm going to be doing that, and after that, I'm going to be taking suggestions from you guys. And so, anyways, thanks for watching, guys.